Joining in to talk about the prospects for the company as well as the space as a whole is Suraj Chokhani. He's the MD at Ability Games and 11wickets.com. Suraj, thanks so much for joining in. I'm going to come to IPL, which is the big event. But first, tell us a little bit about the impact of the lockdown. There's been months of inactivity, especially in a cricket-obsessed country like India. How did that impact fantasy gaming app providers like yourself?
You can see the lockdown happened just before the IPL was supposed to begin. So all the companies in the fantasy sports segment were all geared up for this IPL, and unfortunately the lockdown came into place, and not just the IPL, all the other sporting events all over the world were not happening. So no doubt there was a great impact on the segment as a whole. This whole sector due to lockdown and COVID had to suffer, undoubtedly.
And I'm sure you must be now eagerly waiting for IPL to kick off in the UAE, September 19th. That's not too far away. So that's really going to revive business. Tell us about the growth opportunity that you see from IPL alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Like currently now we have Caribbean Premier League, which is going on in the western part of the world. We are getting a lot of traction, not just the companies, even our fans, our followers, the players, they were all eagerly waiting for the sports to come back. And definitely IPL is all over the world one of the biggest sporting event, and all of us are looking forward. And with this sector, which is a sunrise sector, definitely all the eyes are glued to this sector, and industry insiders and outsiders have a high hopes pinned to this IPL this year particularly.
Sure. Could you give us an update, Suraj, as to how many of your users are currently active, and within that, how many of them are paid users?
You can say, like, currently we have a registered user base of around 5 million on our platform. And if you talk about fantasy sports as a whole, the whole market is of around 100 million. And all these user bases absolutely from India. This is not offered anywhere outside India. So this whole segment caters to 100 million users, and all of them are, you can say, active users. Because fantasy sport is one such segment where you can't play. Maybe 10-20% is something different, but other than that, everyone has to invest a little. This is a real money gaming segment. So all of them are all the players are almost into paid users, you can say, for this entire segment or our platform as well.
Sure. Also wanted to understand, Suraj, how is it that you're dealing with increased competition in the segment? As more games are going stadium free or audience free, if I can call it that, you are seeing increased traction to online gaming. Also, to try and combat that, how is it that you're looking to retain your market share? Are you looking at more investments from the market into your business?
Yes, absolutely. Like you can see, till 3 years back, when we launched our website, there were hardly 5 or 6 players. The very recent study has shown like there are around 180 players in the fantasy sports segment. So to grab the eyeballs, to keep the users retained, a huge chunk of investment has to go into the company, to the website, and definitely we are also looking forward for private equities and finding out routes to acquire more users, because there is a whole lot of market which is still open, and we need to capture that.
Sure. Now, recently the Education Ministry actually said that they're willing to support students in the field, and they're going to do a national level hackathon, for example, as well, to showcase talent. What do you make of some of these measures and the kind of support you're looking to the government for the industry?
It's not just the education minister. If you refer to our prime minister also, he was also very bullish on the whole gaming sector. He said, why not have games which are traditional in our nature, which are inspired by our folk tales, our mythology, And definitely, India today currently has more than 300 million plus users in the gamers, I can say, not just users, which is more than the population of almost all the countries in the world. It's only China and India who has a population more than the gamers that we have in India. So definitely this sector is booming like anything, and a little bit of hand holding from the government, a little bit of support will take it to a different level altogether. With games like we can see today also Tencent or PUBG and Clash of Clans, Call of Duty, they have immense fan following, immense user base across the world. Not just these games. In fact, Ludo King from India had gone all over the world and taken it by storm. So the sector has immense potential. A little bit of help from the government will definitely take it to the next level.
Sure. Have you also reduced the fee for private contests to kind of bring users back? What's the outlook on revenue growth this year?
Yes, absolutely. Like till a few months back, or say last year, the fees were somewhere around say 10 to 15% or up to 20%. But this time it has come down on our platform to only up to 10%. And then where we also have a revenue sharing kind of a option where we give back 50% of the fee that we generate to the user who creates a private contest, gets the user on our platform to play on that. So it is a revenue sharing model as well as a reduction in fees. Both the things we are taking at the same time to bring back the user base back into the fold.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us on that. Good chatting with you this morning.